Why leave? The truth?
I don't think any of us really realised what we were letting ourselves in for.
Nobody is better than this programme.
This was a dream job, you know, this was my favourite TV show for the last 15 years.
Tucker!
Yeah.
Twinkle.
Bobby.
Ricky.
Free as Pat.
This is the Eastenders family album. 1,000 snapshots of the classic moments that have become the most talked about on television. It's 15 years since we first met the families of Albert Square. But back in 1985, the small cast centred on just 3 families: the Watts, the Fowlers and the Beals.
I think I was very lucky having Gilly and Peter, and I always called him Pops from day one. It was easier to call them Mum and Dad Offset as it was not to. But yeah, I still, when Jill phones up, I spoke to her last night. Oh, hello, Mum, how are you? Bizarre.
From that first day, we really bonded, Adam and I, and Peter was great. I mean, we got on very, very well. It was lovely, part of a family, you know.
Good afternoon, Grandma and Granddad. How much you like?
I've spent half my life here. I mean, I know it sounds like an old cliche when people say, yeah, but we all get on so well. On the whole, we do. It's almost like an extended family.
Nick the best from us, eh?
Well, you should have been quicker, shouldn't you?
I first met my Eastenders family in Elstree Studios in the canteen area. And I just remember thinking how nice they were. And we all seemed to get on really well, which was a bit of a bonus because you don't know what people are going to be like.
I'd never heard a proper East London accent like Patsy's, and it was, it was this sort of real, like, only Patsy can do. And it was, and she went, I'm playing your daughter or something. And it was like, oh my God. And I remember I wasn't that old, but I remember thinking, my goodness, I don't feel old enough to have this tall, beautiful looking redhead as my daughter.
I had it with Lindsay, my first scene. She was shouting at me, I was shouting at her. And everyone just clapped after.
Hey, don't walk away from me when I'm talking to you! You're not talking to me, you're shouting at me!
And I think actually the director said, it was very good, but could you just take it down a little bit, please?
A good old family slanging match, but it's not all doom and gloom.
We're all one big happy family. Of course it's difficult sometimes, and on the odd occasions, you know, some nerves get a bit frayed, but invariably we stick together like glue.
Eastenders is essentially a team show. It is all teamwork, and we are a jolly good team. It's true we do have our ups and downs, but at the end of the day, we are all there for each other.
Oh, Mum, I'm so pleased for you.
Well done, Mum.
Yeah.
She's beautiful.
This is Frank Butcher!
I do. There was just thousands of people there. I think they thought it was Fergie. Till I turned around, they heard me say, Ricky!
Just over 200 actors have walked on the set of Eastenders, all from an original cast of only 23, sharply observed creations of script editor Tony Holland and producer Julia Smith.
Julia Smith and Tony Holland, I think the BBC owed a tremendous amount to Julia, and because she had come up with this unwieldy item called E8, which subsequently turned into EastEnders.
Julia Smith was nicknamed the Godmother, and she was a formidable woman.
She could just, with one look, just like shun you completely and put you to the ground. You were so petrified of Julia.
She knew what she wanted, she knew how to get it, and she got the right results.
I know what people mean. She knew what she wanted, like Biddy Baxter, that kind of thing. It's like directors. I like that kind of director. None of us, the boys, were allowed to use makeup, you know, which was right, because we was all like working class people. The only person was me, and that was not makeup. I'd have like a reddish nose, a bit of ruddy cheeks, and potato dust, the makeup girl used to put under my nails.
She was the sort of director who, when somebody picked up a glass, there was a puddle on the table, and she had all that close-up attention to detail. She made all my dreams come true.
Julia produced EastEnders for 3 years and died in 1997.
I think they wanted something very, very hooky, very melodic, something that would get people in, I think Tony said, from the garden or from the kitchen. So I knew it had to be a special kind of a melody. But we didn't get to the arrangement brief until the main melody had been set. After the first attempt that I made, which was a bit rubbishy, I must admit, in retrospect. I could see from Tony's face that I was getting absolutely nowhere. So I came back the next day, and I knew that it had to be special. And I've got about 10 dozen favourite chord sequences that I keep for special occasions, I think. And suddenly, you know, the whole thing evolved.
After discarding the original idea to base the drama in a real-life square in Hackney, designer Keith Harris created a perfect replica of East End London. But with the paint barely dry, the first episode aired on Tuesday, the 19th of February, 1985.
Oh, stinks in here, doesn't it?
I remember it opening with them kicking the door down, and somebody was dead. I think they burst into a dingy little flat. That was the impact of the opening episode, as far as I recall, but I'd be very interested to remember what the first line was.
I kicked the door in, and I'd say, "Cool, stinks in here, doesn't it?"
Reg, he's dead. Dead drunk. No, he's dead. No, he's not.
I said, no, I don't think I'm going to do this. No, Julia, thanks. She said, why? I said, well, I don't think I'm really right for this, the way this character, Arthur Fowler, the way you've explained. Do you think I'm really right? She said, well, it was written for you. Eventually, of course, I came to my senses and rang my agent and said, tell Julia I'd be delighted to do it.
The audition for Pete Beale, which subsequently turned out to be Den, which is very strange because Den is not very good doing things like that with brown paper bags. I just had to talk to Julia and Tony about where I came from, and I lied. I said I was from the East End, but I wasn't. But I think they must have thought, well, he's cheap, we'll get him.
Right, I'm just going to go and see Mum.
I can't remember it. I really cannot remember it. I think it was me walking across the road from the cafe to Pete's stall. I think I asked him for some pocket money or something.
Here we are. Thanks, Mum.
You and your mother name first, then, son?
I'll leave it out. Down and play Mark on the machines.
That money's meant to pay for your dinner.
I'm playing with my own money.
Suddenly I got a call from my agent saying, you've got a recall for EastEnders, but not for the part of Sue, it's for the part of Kathy. And I went up to meet Julia Smith and Tony Holland, and they just sat looking at me for ages and thinking, yeah, you're too young for the part of Kathy, you're too young. And I thought, oh dear, so I thought, OK, well, fine. But then Tony Holland said, could you put your hair out? And he was sitting there with a calculator working out dates and if I could have had this son Ian that I was supposed to have it. And yes, you could have had him at 18 or 16 or something like that. And I went away, didn't hear any more again, until I eventually got a call from my agent saying, oh, congratulations, you've got the part of Kathy. So from Sue, I'd gone to Kathy in a space of like 2 months, yeah.
Oh, you bloody Beals.
What's the matter with you? You want to control your Mrs. Ali?
He's soft enough to take it, he is. You lot, neighbours. First chance you get, you can't wait to point the finger. Well, for a start, Miss Silkney, because you don't even bloody well live on the square, so what's it got to do with you? And for a finish, you can tell Marbill that we ain't going to take the blame.
Well, I would have said your tea was that bad, would you, Ali?
When I first saw the first and second episode, I was rather proud, actually, to belong to it.
Oh, I see you put your spuds before your old man.
All the characters were very carefully drawn. And they were very lovely people to work with. Everyone was pulling together, you know, at the beginning, which was a wonderful atmosphere.
We were given a private showing of them, and then you could have heard a pin drop in the room, and everybody sort of sat back and went, oh, because you knew you had really seen something.
We were all made to watch the first episode. I actually thought it was a load of rubbish.
I didn't wait to see what anybody else was going to say. I said, that is a hit. And I took the cassette out, and everyone said, yeah, it's very good, it's very good. I said, no matter, I don't really care what you think. I know that's going to be a hit.
It was nerve-wracking, but it was lovely for me.
I was dreadful for about 8 months.
Kind of felt like I belonged almost.
There's too many posers in this business.
Exactly, that's what I was for.
When this character came up, I was actually in Los Angeles doing a film, and you know, I think at the time I was more excited about the Eastenders thing that might happen than I was about actually making the film in LA, because this was a dream job.
I'm gonna make you suffer!
Grow up, Saskia!
My friend was living with me, and there was builders outside on the scaffolding, and she shouted out, "My mate's just got a part in Eastenders," and they all started going da 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 da. Sweet.
Come in.
One thing my mum did say to me years ago was, whatever you do, don't get a job on Eastenders. And I think it's because she just thought everyone talked like that, and she didn't want me to be talking like that. Don't worry about me, Dad, I can cope. I was over the moon, I was absolutely over the moon.
I watched EastEnders, I suppose, from the beginning, mainly because you had sort of friends in it that you sort of grew up with, or you know, you've got mates in the business, and in particular Sue Tully, who played my sister, because we were together in Grange Hill. That was quite nice to have a reunion with her.
No,
brilliant.
My first scene was in the market, and I think I was just taking some money off of Matthew, and I was so nervous doing it that my hands were getting confused. I didn't know if I'd taken it in my left hand or my right hand. And I was thinking, what's going on? It was a complete mess.
Sorry, Kath.
Oh, it's all right.
If there's a new character, you can always see that they're really trying not to use anybody's names or whatever. But everybody's really good about it and sort of takes everyone under their wing.
It was a bit like, oh my God. And I think I did call them by their names.
What are you looking at?
I certainly said it to Pam, which I met and I went, it was like, oh, hello, Pam.
I don't think any of us really realised what we were letting ourselves in for.
I don't think I was ever prepared for the kind of profile it gives you.
It's huge.
No family album's complete without its recollections of love, except in Walford, of course, where the path of true love rarely runs smooth, and more often than not, when you scratch away the surface, it reveals a web of deceit and lies.
We're just coming, all right? We're just coming. You do what you like.
There wasn't many more complicated than the rush marriage of Cindy and Ian Beale on the 12th of October, 1989.
You know what's best, don't you?
Just 1 year later, the honeymoon was well and truly over for Cindy and Ian, and their relationship spiralled into the depths of mutual loathing.
I hate you more than you will ever know. I miss working with Michelle, because, I mean, we used to work well together. There was good fun with the original Cindy Wixie Ian triangle.
What is it?
I wish I had a camera.
We all knew it, but it was a year before Ian would find out that Stephen, the child he thought was his firstborn, was really the fruits of a clandestine liaison between Cindy and his friend Simon Wicks.
Of course you do.
I want to talk to you about this baby. Isn't he beautiful?
Yeah. Do you want one?
I don't need one.
Look, Si, give him to me.
This baby.
Simon, you're
Oi.
drunk.
This baby.
What? What about him? Tell me and let's get it over with, eh?
Nothing.
I think Cindy is a great character, and I loved the way she did it, Michelle Collins.
And?
Poor Ian. He thought that after Cindy had given birth to his twins that she would finally become the devoted wife and mother. But he hadn't counted on the other Wicks brother, David.
What's the joke? Oh, I've just been explaining the plan to Cindy.
What are you doing here?
Well, I thought it made sense that
Super bitches often get a lot of men. They end up like man magnets. Cindy Beale was a bitch, and she went through quite a few men.
I don't understand.
Oh, yeah, watch out.
I remember when she kidnapped the children, that worked very, very well. It turned out very bitter, didn't it? It was very, very nasty.
There must be some other way.
What? There might have been another way if you hadn't started snatching kids all over the show.
Which one?
Gate 7.
I'm getting too old for this.
You've got Cindy racing through the airport, you've got Ian racing for the plane, and eventually Ian triumphs and gets his kids back and flies home to England.
Let go of me! Steve and Peter!
Cindy. She turned Ian's life upside down. But as in life, the characters in EastEnders usually get their comeuppance. And for poor old Cindy, it was a glamorous death during childbirth in prison. Ian's luck changed last year. We gazed on in astonishment as the beautiful Melanie Healy agreed to be his wife. But it was for sickness and not health that had finally persuaded her to marry him.
Do you, Melanie, promise to honour and remain faithful to this marriage, and forsaking all others, be bound in union with Ian, as long as you both shall live?
Lucy's got cancer.
Yeah.
Oh,
In a classic will she won't she episode, we all held our breath waiting for the just impediment to be revealed.
I do.
I don't think me personally would have forgiven anything that Ian did leading up to the wedding. But I also think that for Mel, that was an excuse. It was a way out. She just needed something to trigger it off so she could go.
I need you, Mel. Love you.
Well, guess what, Ian? I don't love you. And I never have done.
3, 2, 1.
New Year's, new resolutions and new chances for the residents of Albert Square.
Unless you want to be a part of it.
One Eastender always looking for a second chance was Grant Mitchell. Tiffany was forever living in the shadow of his first wife, Sharon. There was just one time, however, when we thought Grant had finally come to his senses and that he and Tiffany could live happily ever after.
Well, maybe I needed this time to find out.
What are you saying?
I'm saying I know what I want. I know how I feel. I'm saying that I love you. I always did. And I always will. I just didn't know until now.
But then again, this is EastEnders, and it was Grant Mitchell, and he just couldn't keep his hands to himself.
Tiffany is the love of my life. I never knew it till now, but I'm never going to forget it.
So why were we nearly kissing again the other night?
Because there's something between us, you know there is.
Don't give me that. You just used me for sex when she wasn't giving you any. And now that she is, you just want me for babysitting instead.
Oh, the worst kind of mother-daughter betrayal. But even without the handy baby intercom, those EastEnders secrets have a way of getting out. And the one that kept 25 million of us on the edge of our seats was the identity of the father of Michelle Fowler's love child. Den Watts, adulterous husband to alcoholic Angie, publican of the Queen Vic, and Albert Square's answer to the East End hardman.
I'm sorry I had to call you.
It's okay. You did the right thing.
We were under a lot of pressure that day, and it suddenly started raining, and in the middle of a scene I just said, I think we'll go under the bridge, and that's how we ended up doing it. But Susan Tully, like her niece, was a fantastic actress, so we sparked off very well.
Have you considered all the alternatives?
What? Abortion? Adoption? Being packed off to an auntie in Essex? I was grown up enough to do something. got to be adult enough to face up to the consequences.
Michelle Fowler, Eastenders' first teenage mother. She left the square in 1995, but not before she became pregnant by the other East End bad boy, Grant Mitchell.
I think you'll have kids one day. You know what? I think you'll make a good dad.
Surely the lives of the Eastenders couldn't get more complicated. Of course they can, particularly when an actor decides to leave and the writers are charged with coming up with an explosive new storyline.
Wow, look at this.
Will someone tell me what the hell's going on?
Poor old Ricky. Who was the last one to find out?
Bianca.
Go on, tell him. What? Tell him.
Carol. Tell me what?
We're waiting. Of course you can. I bet he's dying to know. Now tell him, because if you don't, I will.
What is it?
Sorry.
What's happened?
I'm sleeping with Dad.
Then at the end, it was just complete devastation and total betrayal by her daughter.
You turned out just like your father. You're just like David.
I'm nothing like David.
You're just the same as him. Self-centred, destructive. As long as you get what you want, you don't care who gets hurt. That's who you are, Bianca.
I mean, the thing about that scene is that Carol had the power. Is that I could go anywhere in that scene because Bianca didn't know what was going to happen, and she'd become so small. And I remember saying to the director, I think I would really like to sit and put my hand to her face, that either make a gesture of I'm going to give her a cuddle or I'm going to strangle her.
I think I want to lose you, Bianca. You're my oldest child.
I think it was so emotional that we'd just done it a couple of times and we kind of asked, could we not do it a lot? Because it's just one of those scenes, you just couldn't keep doing the same thing over and over again because it was just too emotional. But actually, the bit where she did put her hands around my face just made me burst into tears.
When it's finished, it's over. I can't even bear the sight of you.
Getting a dramatic exit means that they are forever in our consciousness, but many of the actors pass through, leaving in much less infamous circumstances.
Excuse me.
Eastenders, indulging in our fantasies and fears as we observe people with lives more miserable and complicated than our own. Usually they've brought it on themselves, but occasionally the writers drop in the kind of tragedy that makes us all think about how near it can get to real life.
What?
We're going to have to stop seeing each other.
You don't mean that.
I do.
I think the writers always handle sensitive storylines very well. And particularly the HIV storyline that I was involved in.
That's it, Mark. Stop talking gibberish. What the hell's going on? What the hell is going on in your head? Because you see, this is the end. I can't take any more.
I'm afraid I'm going to ruin your evening.
You mean you haven't already?
The reason I have to stop seeing you is because I've been diagnosed HIV positive.
I mean, it was very early days that this subject would be portrayed in a soap.
Are you gay?
No, I'm not. And I don't shoot up either. It was a girl.
She went with you knowing she had it?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know.
It was a great experience for me and a great learning process because it was the very early days where people were a bit unsure about the condition. So we got together with some great researchers and great writers and Yeah, it's been a great experience for me. I'm so glad 10 years later that I got involved in this storyline.
And Peggy Mitchell touched the hearts of millions as she struggled to come to terms with breast cancer.
What's wrong?
Well, I'm going into hospital in the next couple of days.
Well, you got the results back.
Consultant says that... The consultant says that a mastectomy is my best chance. And I've decided to take his word for it.
Mum, you're gonna be all right.
After all this time, Phil, I found someone I love. And Frank loves me. And I don't want to leave him. Frank.
Just a minute, please. I love you. You're gonna be fine. You're gonna be fine. Thank you.
This is my pub. Time I got back behind the pumps.
Peggy, you're gonna go straight up them stairs, sweetheart.
Right
then. Are you sure you want to do this? I mean, you don't have to put a big act on, you know. It's just a few punters propping up the bar.
That's where you're wrong, Frank. Running a pub is showbiz. It's about making people feel good. Now, how's me lipstick?
Great.
Right then.
Because if it is Frank... And it was a dark moment indeed when poor Frank Butcher, dogged with work and financial troubles, plunged into the depths of depression.
We've had a run of bad luck before, but we've always come out fighting. Darling, you're going to have to snap out of this one, or I'll have to shake you out of it.
I don't think I'm going to snap out of this one, Pep. We've all got problems.
God. Come on, Frank, get back on board.
So every time we get a situation on the television, they look round and they can actually identify with it because it's happened to someone in their life at some stage in the game, and they can identify. That's the success of Eastenders, in my belief. I never, ever thought it would got to me, but it did, and it really made me very low. There was a period of 3 months where Frank had a nervous breakdown, and they asked me to come back again, and I said yes, I would. And I'm not being big time, I said, but under the conditions that I will never go for that again. That won't happen, so the first thing that happens is Frank kills Tiffany.
Grant! I'm going to call the police.
Mum, no, Mum.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, please.
Now, if the producers don't kill the actors, there's always a chance that they could return. But this is so planned, and there's no guarantee you would get the same part.
Go away.
She was our worst nightmare in her role as Tiffany's mother, Louise Simmons, played by Carol Harrison. But she'd already had blood on her hands 12 years before, when poor Andy had a fatal encounter with a lorry. Mona Hammond played Blossom, the Jackson family's much-loved grandmother. But hang on a minute, wasn't she the midwife delivering Michelle and Den's baby? Leslie Schofield made his first appearance in the square in April '88 as Pat's first husband, Brian Wicks. He returned 9 years later, still a divorced father, but it wasn't Pat that was his ex-wife, but someone called Jane Healy.
Hello, Melanie.
Dad.
And Barbara Windsor, the quintessential glamorous Eastenders landlady and mother to the brothers Mitchell. She'd undergone a major transformation from the original Mrs. Mitchell, played by Jo Warne in 1991.
I thought my boys might have taken their old mum out for a drink.
Hey?
Now, a lot of families have their black sheep, but this family album would need a shepherd to round up all the troublemakers down at Eastenders.
You stupid senile crow! Look, listen to me. Look, if they lock me up, I'll be finished. I just told you what it'll be like. Are you going to kill your own son? Are you?
If you leave me up before they come, there ain't nothing much I can do about it.
Nick. Nasty Nick, eh? It's a pantomime nastiness, you know, it's about something about the man.
What do you take me for? A villain or something?
The main thing that I really liked about Nick Cotton was his relationship with Dot. So I don't remember so much of the bad stuff, apart from the unconditional love that Dot gave him, which was constant support all the time. That mother-son relationship was very, very believable, I think.
Now, I know that his past is nothing to be proud of. But I want you to believe me when I tell you that I'm convinced that Nick is now a new person. Good person. Of course, it would be foolish of me to call him a saint. But if you want a modern version of the Good Samaritan, then your son Nick would be a prime candidate.
Oh, I have wronged him. My own son.
The pity that you had for Dot in that situation of how vulnerable and gullible she was amazing. And also he kept being bad. And I think people hated him generally, the character, because of what he did to his mother.
Nice, Al.
Nick Cotton. He lied to Dot, robbed her, and even tried to murder her. He's currently doing time in jail.
A soap has to have a bad guy. Yeah, it has to have someone in there that can mix it all up.
Apart from your two fists, you got nothing going for you. Do you hear? Nothing! And if I wasn't Courtney's gran, I'd have that child taken away from you. You're unfit to be a father! Don't you dare turn your back on me!
Traditionally, these programmes are led by strong female characters, that what would be fascinating in this particular programme was strong male characters and, you know, a duo, people who could infiltrate, who could just bring some testosterone in there. So we screen tested and worked long and hard and were lucky enough to come up with two superb actors in Ross and Steve.
Tell me what happened with Kathy. I told you. You haven't told me anything. Tell me! All right. I did it because of Sharon. Is that what you want to hear? I wanted to do to you what you did to me.
Grant Mitchell. His world was turned on its head once again.
You slept with him, remember? Phil was different. Why? He just was. Oh, I didn't know that the first time. In one minute I was looking at him, in the next, ripping each other's clothes off.
Now we get to it, don't we, eh? What's good for one is good for the other, right? Kathy and Ben, they're the only decent thing in my life. Yeah, and Sharon was the only decent thing in my life, but it didn't stop you, did it? So like I said, we're quits. You really mean this, don't you? I mean, you actually believe it? What's the matter, Phil? I mean, I'm Grant Mitchell. Hit first, ask questions later. Trick women like dirt. Don't care about anybody else but myself. Well, that's what people think of me, innit? That's what you and everybody expects from me. So I shout about it when I live up to it. I ain't talking about anybody else. I'm talking about Kathy.
Bad guys are better to play than good guys. Good guys, we all do that in everyday life.
You know something? It was hardly worth the wait. Stop the car. Get stuck. I said stop the car!
With a bad guy character, you can kind of go to work, you can play out this kind of fantasy, and then go home. As an actor, you want to play extremes. I mean, I'm not mad on playing those characters that just kind of bumble along. You know, I like the highs and the lows. So they're the things that kind of keep me going.
Really?
Yeah, really.
Go on, then throw me out. Throw me out.
Come on.
Get off him, what are you doing? You all right, Steve?
When Matthew Robinson told me about the murder storyline, I thought, wow, bring it on. That's what I want to do. That's why I'm here. I wanted Matthew to go down. I didn't want to spend any more time in that prison set than I had to. Anyway, he deserved it.
In respect of Stephen Owen, on the count of manslaughter.
Not guilty.
In respect of Matthew Rose, on the count of manslaughter.
Guilty.
No! He's innocent! My son is innocent! You call this justice?
My favourite bad guy, there's only one, that's Dirty Den.
How long have we been married?
Dan, you're not saving up for a silver wedding already, are you?
18 years. And in the beginning, it was good. We both wanted the same things, and we both worked damn hard to get them.
Well, that's what I keep telling you.
Yeah, and then the bubble burst, the dream faded. There ain't no big house in Reigate, there ain't no pair of tiny feet. All we got is the shambles, this pretense, these lies.
Look, Dan, I haven't got time.
Will you stop it? Will you stop avoiding the issue? Will you stop making it impossible?
Den Watts was not a very attractive or nice person. But if you went below the surface, you understood him. And you loved to hate him.
He was the lovable rogue, wasn't he, Den? I mean, everyone loved him, didn't they? Even though he was a real... what do you call it?
Dirty Den Watts, desperate to get out of the neurotic grip of Angie, finally got his chance when he discovered she'd lied about having terminal cancer to keep him. On Christmas Day 1986, he delivered her final present.
I don't want to get morbid today of all days, but it scares me. I don't think I can keep up this performance 24 hours a day.
Oh, you could keep this performance up for a lifetime. Like on the Orient Express, like in the bar, like chatting up the barman. Oh, I've told my husband this terrible lie. Not a little white one, but a big black one. 6 little months to live. 6 tragic little months. That has got to be the sickest joke that you've ever played. And then what's fell for it? Well, now the joke's on you. This, my sweet, is a letter from my solicitor telling you that your husband has filed a petition for divorce. Happy Christmas, Anne.
Blackmail, robbery, rape, drive-by shootings and even murder make forgiveness pretty hard down at Eastenders. But they're so used to infidelity that they can usually find it in their hearts to let bygones be bygones. And even nice guy Arthur Fowler couldn't resist temptation.
You tell me you've been seen so tired and you expect me to relax.
We can sort this out. Now, come
No, go away from me, Arthur.
Oh, now, come on,
Go away
Pauline.
from me.
Will you please...
I hate you, I hate you, I hate you.
And frankly, you know, if as much happened to one character as happens to any one of the characters in EastEnders, then they'd be in a mental institution, wouldn't they? I mean, you know, Pauline wouldn't be walking around as she is because she's been through so much.
The one I think sticks in most people's minds and mine is when Pauline hit Arthur with the frying pan and the props boys had left me a stack of 6 frying pans to pick my choice.
But Pauline, please, stay away from me, Arthur!
But how could you stay mad at Arthur for long?
Arthur, do you think you'll sleep all right tonight?
As well as I usually do, I suppose. Good night, love. Now, listen, if you do want to do anything for your birthday, just let me know, eh?
Arthur, there is something I want to do for my birthday.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. But can I do it early?
Even though Barry had lost his father's fortune, Roy stood by him. But when the tables were turned, it took Barry months to forgive his father for his betrayal. The night his mother had died, Roy was in bed with his mistress.
Then I risk losing you. You haven't lost me. No? I'm still here.
And even Ian could find it in himself to forgive Cindy in the early days.
Oh, look, Cindy, look, I want you back. More than anything I've ever wanted, I want you back. Look, please, come back with me.
But Natalie had to leave and come back again before Bianca could find it in her heart to forgive her for sleeping with Ricky.
Slag. In big red letters. What? Slag!
You work on so many different episodes and you're not working in story order, that you develop this way of working where you can throw yourself into it at any moment. So if somebody's calling you a slag and you know they're your mate, you're not really thinking, oh, that's really hurtful.
Don't you start, no, it ain't a competition.
Just as well. Whenever I see anyone cry, I cry. I'm really sorry, Bianca, about everything. Patsy cries all the time.
Oh, come here. I always found myself quite emotional when me and Lucy did arguing scenes, because we do get on really well. And my last scene I did with Lucy, I had one line, and I just couldn't stop crying for ages. It's such a mad place to work. It's a really crazy job, isn't it? I mean, we all come in this place and cry all day. It's great.
Barry and I having this drink, we thought we might want to come.
But it wasn't long before Bianca had to ask for Natalie's forgiveness after the shock revelation that she'd been sleeping with her mother's boyfriend, Dan.
I'm really sorry about everything. Lying to you and that.
Yeah, well, that's the least of your crimes. Still, it's your loss, not mine.
Still mates though, aren't we?
Yeah, of course we are. I'll see you around.
And Irene Raymond. Now, she'd had a passionate affair with Troy, her toy boy lover. Husband Terry, himself no saint, found out but he chose to turn the other cheek.
I mean, if that's okay with you. So do I get the girl?
Ooh. Do you still want the girl?
Oh, yes. Shall we,
Pick up where we left off.
The Eastenders families, they're like our own flesh and blood. So much so that sometimes it's difficult to separate fact from fiction.
People say the strangest things.
Well, as bad.
All the time, every day of my life.
Tucker! And their teenage kids are saying, Mark!
About 30, 40 times a day.
All right, Twiggle.
Bianca! Where's Ricky? Ricky! Bianca! Ricky! And then for a little while I was getting Dan, so it was quite a nice change.
Ricky, Barry.
On good days, I'd be very friendly and chatty. On bad days, I ignored them.
Before Mel married Ian, people used to shout, don't do it, don't do it.
I can't tell you what people say to me in the street.
Then they shouted, Steve's a murderer, don't go with Steve, stay with Ian.
Nice one.
And now they shout, you bitch, leaving Ian, so can't really win.
But you're our friends. Sometimes, though, they have to move on.
The truth is, I walked into the green room and I seemed to be the only person there. This was on a Saturday, and I went into, I thought I must be late, so I go in for a scene, and there's every member of the production team is doing a part. There's no member of the cast. So I said, where's so-and-so? Oh, no, I opened the supermarket. Oh, and where's, oh, well, they've only got this scene, so they're not coming in. Oh, and where's, oh, no, oh, fine. So I said, I've just come in all the way just to walk in the back of shot. You know, we've got to, everywhere we go, we're you know, feted and people look after us and nothing's too much. And there's these people moaning. Something happened. And I just went down and said, Julia, can I see you? She says, yes, darling, certainly, of course you can. I said, you know they're negotiating my contract next week? She said, yes, and the BBC have told me that I've got to look after you very well. I said, I don't want to do it anymore. And she went, what? Well, it was my decision to be killed off. They said, what do you want to do? You can leave it open. I said, no, I want to be killed off. I said that she'd had this scene with Michelle, and that as she'd left, there'd been a young couple coming along, the girl holding the flowers, and as they'd gone past, in the flowers was this, it would be the girl that shot me. But messages hadn't gone through and ended up being shot by a bunch of daffodils, which is great, because the day after it had gone out, I was in Sloane Square shopping, and I came out and my car was covered in daffodils, so someone thought it was funny.
I wanted to leave. I'd got fed up with him.
So by the time I left, I was quite pressurised. I was stressed, you know. I just wanted out. As for the death thing, I didn't care as long as they tied it up. I just wanted out by then.
When I went up and told them that I was going, there was that fear. Well, what am I going to do if they say, if you go, we're going to kill you off? So I had to think about that one, because it was happening a lot at the time. And I kind of thought, well, if that's what they want to do, I've made my decision. You know, I've really made sure that I've made my decision. And if they want to kill me off, then so be it, you know.
Bianca, wait! Bianca, look, I know you're upset, but I'm telling you something now. You go without me, you're going to regret it.
I don't think so. Now stay away from me.
You don't mean that!
Look, it's over.
You told me you had feelings for me. It just can't disappear.
Well, mine have, Dan. Completely. I went up to Mal Young and Matthew. They're like executive producers, and it's like, you know, I don't really know what they're going to react like, and I don't know if they're going to kind of say, well, fine, bye then, you can go now, you know, because I know that nobody is better than this programme.
Bianca!
Ricky! I can't believe you're here. Matthew didn't really say a lot. Mal was just... And he said he was just a bit fed up that it was so soon. But I couldn't have had a better leaving storyline, and I couldn't have had nicer compliments.
Of course I want you to. Now, come on!
And it was just like a dream come true. I mean, you know, because I know that he could have turned around and said, well, look, you know, it's too soon. You can't just go. See you later type of thing. But he didn't, so I was lucky.
Look, I love you, and no one else comes near. I just need to know that you feel the same.
Of course I do.
You know, I ain't second best. You know, I'm enough for you.
You are.
Bianca, I mean it. Just do me this one thing. Be honest with me. Am I a compromiser? Am I really what you want? Am I?
No.
That's what I needed to know.
My final scene with Sid was sad, but just looking at his little face, it was really sad. Didn't take a lot, really, you know. So then I kind of thought, oh, bye. And he's got one of them faces, hasn't he, that you just want to cry anyway.
I'm very lucky, I suppose, in the fact that I do have this open book at the moment that I can keep coming back. I mean, I don't know how long that will last. No one's indispensable, and certainly if they decided one day that Kathy got killed by a shark while she was swimming in South Africa, that would be it for me. So I don't really know how long it'll last.
I love you, Mum.
I swore I wasn't going to do this.
I couldn't let you go without saying it. I mean, all the times I've let you down and hurt you.
Just stop it, all right? Don't you dare put yourself down. I am so proud of you. And I know if your dad was here, he'd say the same. You and Ben are the best things that have ever happened to me in my life. Every man I've ever known counts for nothing next to you two. I love you to death. Come here.
Come on. Otherwise you're going to miss your plane.
All right, I'll ring you as soon as I get there.
Yeah.
No, don't watch me, will you? You just go.
Come on, see you, mate. Have fun. Jilly. I always love working with Jilly. And it's always great when she comes back. And please bring her back again.
I think if I was ever going to be killed off, I'd like to be back in Albert Square. I'd like to be serving on Mark's stall now, which was originally my husband's stall, where I worked, and perhaps the stall could fall down and I would be killed by 400 weight of King Edwards. That would be it for me. Gone as I started, serving potatoes.
The way that I would like to go out, I suppose, a ball of flames in E20 being burnt down, maybe.
I think he'd probably have to drown in the chip fryer.
I think Ricky would definitely kill Bianca. If anyone, he'd strangle her.
Eastenders. 1908 dramatic episodes with thousands of stories swapped over the bar of the Queen Vic. 15 years of on-screen highs and lows. More people will come and go in the next 15 years. More pictures for the Eastenders family album, bringing their own brand of heartache, passion, revelations, and perhaps a ghost from the past.
Well, I don't know what's going on in Albert Square, but they need someone to sort them out.
So with a big week in Walford to come, Ross Kemp is on BBC One tomorrow night at 8, with EastEnders stars past and present, marking 40 years on the square.